Hey there. If you're a dog owner in Buena Park, you know that life with your pup is a real adventure. We put together this guide to help you find the perfect dog trainer, someone who can make all those adventures, happy and stress-free for everyone. So let's get into it.
Here's a quick look at our game plan. We'll kick things off with how to start your search. Then, we'll talk about what actually makes a great trainer. After that, it's all about the different training formats and what they cost. We'll give you a super handy pre-hire checklist, and finally, wrap up with some specific Buena Park rules and resources.
All right, first things first, let's talk about starting your search. It's not just about finding any trainer. It's really about finding one who gets your local area.
I mean, think about it. You want a dog that can walk politely down the Coyote Creek Trail, right? Or maybe just hang out calmly while you're at an outdoor spot like the Source OC. A trainer who knows Buena Park understands these real-life situations and can build a training plan that actually prepares your dog for life right here in town.
So once you find a few potential trainers, what are you actually looking for? Well, let's get into the two things that matter most: their training philosophy and their professional credentials. These are the absolute fundamentals. The approach you really want to see is positive reinforcement. Basically, instead of punishing your dog for getting it wrong, you're teaching them what you want them to do, and then you reward them for it. It makes learning genuinely fun for your dog and builds a relationship based on trust, not on fear.
Now, all these acronyms can look a little like alphabet soup, I know, but they are a really important sign of a true professional. Credentials like the CPDTK show that a trainer has actually passed a tough, independent exam on their training knowledge. And for more complex stuff, like anxiety, those advanced certifications from groups like the IABC, well, they point to a much deeper level of expertise.
This chart really lays out the difference pretty clearly. On the left, you've got these modern methods that build a confident, happy dog. But on the right, you have these outdated, punishment-based techniques that can create fear and honestly just make behavior problems worse. You always want to choose a trainer who works on the left side of this chart.
Okay, let's get down to the practical stuff. There are a few different ways to go about training, and of course, they all have different price tags. So let's figure out what the right fit is for you.
The two most common setups are group classes and private lessons. Group classes are awesome for general manners and for teaching your dog to focus with other dogs around. But if you're dealing with something specific to your home, like say barking at the mail carrier or bolting out the front door, a private in-home lesson is usually way more effective.
So here's a rough idea of the costs you might see in the Buena Park and Greater Orange County area. As you can see, a 6-week group class is pretty affordable. Private lessons cost more for each session, but buying a package deal can give you better value. And for really intensive work, you have board and train programs, which are definitely the premium option.
And just to zero in on that number for a second, if you're thinking about that personalized, one-on-one help, this is the typical range you can expect to pay for a single hour-long session. It's a great way to tackle a specific problem head-on.
Okay, so you've done your research, you've got a short list of trainers you like. Let's make sure you're totally prepared to interview them and feel confident about it.
That first call or meeting is your chance to make sure their style, their methods, and their personality are all the right match for both you and your dog. Having the right questions ready to go will help you make a decision you feel really good about. Here are 5 questions you've got to ask. First, you want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. Then you want to ask about their credentials. A good trainer is going to create a custom plan for you, not just a one-size-fits-all thing. And of course, getting clear on how they track progress, what homework looks like, and their fees is crucial before you get started.
And finally, let's go over some really important local info, because being a great dog owner also means being a great neighbor and a responsible citizen.
This is a simple one, but it's a critical rule to remember. In any public area in Buena Park, your dog has to be on a leash that is 6 feet long or shorter. This is all about keeping everyone safe and in control on sidewalks, trails, and in parks.
This is a big one. It's a county and state health requirement. Every dog over 4 months old has to have a current rabies vaccination. It's all about keeping pets and people in our community safe.
And here are just a few other quick points to know. That rabies tag, it actually serves as your dog's license here in Orange County, so it needs to be on their collar at all times. Also, be aware that non-stop barking can actually become a legal issue. And if you're hiring a professional, make sure they have a city business license to operate legally.
Now, once you get going with training, you're going to need places to practice. These are some fantastic local options. You can work on polite leash walking over at Buena Park, practice that all-important recall at the dog park, or build up some walking endurance on the Coyote Creek Trail.
You know, finding the right trainer really is the first step toward building an amazing partnership with your dog. A well-trained companion just makes everything easier, from having guests over to enjoying a peaceful walk in your neighborhood. We wish you the absolute best of luck on your training journey.